Welcome to the Stress Outlet. My name is Dr. Kimberly Quinn, also known as Dr. Unstuck, coming soon to a theater near you. And today the boys and I are in because it's blustery, which is, we don't mind, but it's not good for filming. So there's Giovanni's over there taking a snooze, and Truman's little head, if you can see it, is right by G's chair. So what we want to talk about is sort of, expanding upon the don't chase your worthiness. Definitely don't fight for it, because it's just a concept. We're inherently worthy. So we're talking about performative energy. Some of you might have been saying, I think I get that. What does that mean? It means when we learn to act at a very young age. And so we wanted to talk about the frame. I said, we're pulled out of our frame. So when we're born, all warm and squishy and wet, probably not a visual maybe we want, we're born into our own little baby frames. And in here is this inherent knowing that we are loved, cherished, accepted, and invited to the party. Little babies don't know anything else. Just think of when, they're really little, they just coo and laugh, and they just know they're loved and accepted. They know that you want to hold them and gaze at them and stare at them and smile at them. They're aware of all the joy. They're just joyful little cherubs until along the way we are pulled out of our frames with harmful messages, shaming messages about in whatever ways we're not enough, flawed, defective, broken, whatever. Even in the most wonderful family, we eventually have some messages that are negative, right? It's just how it goes. When we're yanked out of our frames, and we're talking about this, when we chase worthiness, we get way out here. So over here, we've left that inherent knowing of being loved and cherished and accepted. And now we're out here swimming around, latching onto other people's frames for their approval and their recognition and their praise. And so that is all performance energy, and it's draining and exhausting because it's inauthentic. That's when the ego is temporarily winning. The ego won't win in the end. The ego, however, is what's swimming around out here outside of your authentic frame. The authentic self, the authentic little baby self and adult self resides in this frame we were born into, where we know we were loved, cherished, and accepted. So when we're out here, we are performing. Why are we performing? And actually, Don Miguel Ruiz, author of the Four Agreements, talks a lot about this, how we learn to act from the ground up. Even the most wonderful of families, there'll be a little bit of that spectrum, right? A little bit of that to a lot of that. So when we learn to perform, to prove that we're worthy to whomever and get their approval and get their recognition and get their praise, that is pulling us further and further away from our authentic self. Again, it's exhausting, obviously not healthy, and also not enjoyable. You want to really know